Hi, welcome. It's time for my town hall and campaign update. I am Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki, and I am a candidate for President of the United States. I'm currently in Switzerland, and it's late here, so I'm a little tired. But anyways, I wanted to check in with you all and let you know what's going on. So welcome. I Campaign-wise, I'm still waiting for the Supreme Court to act on my lawsuit. This week, on Tuesday, is the anniversary or the birthday of the Supreme Court and of the Congress. And it's also the same day that President Trump will be giving his State of the Union address, which I'm looking forward to hearing about what he and Elon and others have discovered. So I'm looking forward to that. But more is, I'm, how can I say this? In Switzerland, I'm more of an artist, although I think I'm everything here. But I've been doing a lot of artwork and applying for art shows, so art is very much on my mind. And I'll be doing a summoning as my artist self, as modern art, at the Supreme Court building, as close as I can get, on Tuesday this week in the morning. And then after that, then I'm heading out to go watch the State of the Union address later elsewhere. But anyways, I just want to let you know that I'm still working on getting the Supreme Court to act on my lawsuit because we have a lot of fraudulent people in office, and there are votes that have gone uncounted. Mine is one of them, but many others also. And this is just simply unacceptable because our voices are not being heard. Now, it's not because I disagree with what Donald Trump is doing. I think he's doing all right, and he's being transparent, which is good. That's, I think, what our country needs. And, this sort of Zelensky, Trump, Vance sort of interaction that happened over the weekend, I think it was, or on Friday. Anyway, or Thursday, sometime recently. I don't recall exactly what date because I'm 6 hours different from the U.S. anyway, so dates are sort of unimportant from over here. But yeah, it was transparent for sure. So that part I got. I'm reading different takes on what it's all about, and the worst, it could be done for many reasons, and so I think we have to wait until the dust settles from it. But a lot of the European countries are siding with Ukraine, which means that they see Ukraine as being more European than Eastern Bloc anymore. And so, that's one thing. But then I saw somehow a reworking of the whole process. And I think we can't say anything just yet. But I know that for a long time, Ukraine and Ukrainians were not seen as part of Europe. And so I think this could catalyst them to being more welcome in the European Union area. So I think that is part of it. From the get-go, Putin came out and said that NATO was getting too close and we were breaking our promises and things like that. We, meaning NATO, was breaking their promises by getting too close. And that still seems to be the underlying issue. So I don't know. I have difficulty judging anything from here. And I think that if I ever get the opportunity to go there to see the damage and see what supposedly has been going on, I think I would have a better understanding. So it's kind of hard to say when you haven't seen it. And this is, I'd also like to get to Israel and Palestine and Gaza and have a look there, because I have some thoughts in my head too about what's going on. But anyways, so Supreme Court, I'm still waiting. I'll be there on Tuesday for my summoning, and maybe something will happen. And then we'll see. If nothing happens, then let's see what happens at the what do you call it? State of the Union. I'm quite interested in that. And then after that, there's some other things going on in the month, but these are the important things right now. And then what else? Of course, ceasefire, put down your guns in the USA, and let's start working together as a community. That's what we really need to do. So, Abena Blessing is back again. They're giving me a okay sign. So that's good. Then, we need to work on being a community, work on respect, and being at peace with each other. So that's certainly a big order, but we can do it here in the US, and I think we can do it in the globe too. But it takes understanding and acceptance and respect. So then the other thing, I guess, it would be nice to have also a ceasefire around the world. I'm not really hearing a lot about the war right now, I have to admit, or any of the wars or conflicts, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. As I said, this week I was doing a lot of art things and focusing on my art, so I haven't been able to keep up with that sort of news, but there also hasn't been a lot of news on that side. What I can say is I do occasionally get some West Virginia news, and there, I don't know if I said this last Wednesday or not, but some of our legislature and senators are trying to propose that if a woman is raped, or a girl is raped, or a girl is exposed to incest and happens to get pregnant, they want to make a law that states that she has to stay pregnant. That only in the possibility of her dying from medical complications from a pregnancy, without that, she's not allowed to have an abortion. But what they don't seem to, for some reason, a lot of politicians don't seem to understand that mental health is also health care. And, if you are raped or subjected to incest, which is also rape, it's sort of redundant to say it that way, but raped from a foreigner, so somebody who's not a relative or raped from a relative. It doesn't really matter how you put it or who. A rape is a rape is a rape. And if you happen to be raped, there's going to be mental health problems. Period. Raping is a violation of a human being's body by another human being. It's unacceptable. And everyone, every woman, every girl is different. Even men, but men can't get pregnant normally unless they're intersex. But if a girl, because most of the time we're talking about girls here, if she gets pregnant, she should have a right to decide what she feels comfortable doing. And no law should be made to restrict her choice, because physical health and mental health are the same thing. They are health for someone. And if you're mentally distraught because you were raped, the chance of maybe later committing suicide or killing someone else or whatever might be there. So if it helps the girl to decide to abort her pregnancy, then she should be able to, in West Virginia and in many other places. So, of course, it's 3 men trying to bring this law forward. Because, and you know what, I'm going to use a Donald Trump strategy. It's 3 ugly men. 3 ugly men, possibly 1 or 2 are gay, who the only reason they would ever touch a woman might be because they want to rape, because they want to hurt her. So this is unacceptable, to let a rapist harass and abuse a girl and then expect her to not only give birth but possibly raise that child? Are you nuts? West Virginia. You don't have that great song because you're a bunch of losers. You have that great song because you have great people in your state. And this is just unacceptable. Unacceptable. I mean, how can some of these people even look at themselves in the mirror? They're just bitter, angry men who want to abuse women. And you're letting them. You're going to, I mean, I hope you're not going to let them. But you're letting them even propose this law and treating it like it's normal. It's disgusting. You're just women haters. I feel sorry for you. Shame on you. So, you know, 2 can play this game. It's unacceptable. It's also unconstitutional. The 13th Amendment clearly states that the state, the government, the people, no one has a right to force servitude onto somebody unless they've broken the law. And a woman who gets raped has broken no law. A girl who gets raped has broken no law. But the person who did the raping broke a law. And my suggestion for those people who rape, after their first rape, and after the first rape and they're caught, they should have a vasectomy. And quite possibly after their second rape, if they rape again, their penis should be removed. Because it seems that many men are feeling it's okay to rape, and it's not. And until we include harsh punishments for such activity, it's going to continue. And this is not what I want for the young girls growing up out there. This is not acceptable. It has not been acceptable. It's never acceptable. Mental harassment is unacceptable. So the 13th Amendment clearly states you cannot force servitude, involuntary servitude, and getting pregnant is involuntary servitude. You cannot force that on any woman, any girl, at any time, period. So you can try to make that law, but it's not going to take. Then the other part that can stop that, I mean, there's many parts, but another part that can stop that is the 14th Amendment. No state can make or enforce a law that infringes on the liberties of a U.S. citizen. And U.S. citizens are girls and women. And so if a girl or a woman decides that she does not want to be pregnant and go through a pregnancy with her body, she has every right to terminate her pregnancy at any time. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's her body, her choice. And we also get that with the First Amendment, with the freedom of speech. Freedom of being ourselves, of our own bodies. And then it's all over the document with the people's liberties. So you have no right to infringe on women, our bodies, our liberties, period. It's a waste of the taxpayers' money, actually, to even attempt to go forward with that lawsuit or with that law. You're just looking busy trying to gain approval for the money that's been spent on you to get you into office and to pay for your paycheck. Well, I say, we don't need a lot of these stupid, frivolous laws that are going nowhere. They're just tying up the legislature. And they're pointless because they cannot go through. So, West Virginia, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and decide who you are. So, I don't know. You are the state that stood up against slavery. You said it wasn't a good idea. And you moved forward. And now you want to make women slaves. Involuntary servitude is slavery. I'm confused. I mean, I'm not confused. You're confused. Let's put it where it really is. You're confused. So you need to really look in the mirror and decide what side you are really for. I thought West Virginia was a place where families could grow and people could have fun and live a good life. Sadly, all I've seen is a lot of corruption the roads are a nightmare. You're not living up to Lincoln's promise, to Lincoln's ideas. It's sad. So, write your Congress people, write your legislatures in your state, tell them you don't want the laws you don't want. And, quote a lot from the Constitution. Because these people, I don't think they ever read the Constitution, some of them. They have no clue to what's inside. And they're just, they're just clueless. And maybe it's time to make government smaller on many levels, not only on the federal, but the state. I find West Virginia to be pretty bulky when it comes to bureaucracy. And everything is threatening too. It's not at all pleasant. When you call to ask questions to the government, you're treated like you're shit. It's not acceptable. But we do have to call and we do have to do things, sadly. It's just not at all what I'm used to. And you shouldn't be used to this behavior either. But one of my plans for the federal government is to get rid of the House of Representatives because we don't need them. We the people can do the voting. We the people can bring ideas for new laws. We don't need a House of Representatives because they're just bringing frivolous laws, and too many of them, 800 pages, we're killing trees right and left for nothing. Every year we don't have to debate abortion. It needs to be voted on by the people and once and for all decided. That's how it works. But, there's nothing to decide. I just told you. It's against the Constitution to force anyone into servitude in our country. It's called slavery, and it was abolished a long time ago. So you can just forget that. West Virginia and all the other states watching. But with that said, we also don't need all this legislature. We can save lots of money there and put that in take that money, West Virginia, and put it into the roads. I never saw potholes like I've seen this year in West Virginia. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's unacceptable. If I were a mother trying to drive around and I hit a pothole, let's say my baby just got to sleep and now I hit a pothole and so she or he is awake and crying now. The road should be made for mothers driving with kids. They should be spotless. They should be smooth like butter. And this, the paint needs to be put on properly, applied properly, so that it can be used, so you can see it. But, I don't know. We got a new governor. I don't know if anything's going to change. I can only hope. But we still have a legislature, and they're still doing stupid things, making a lot of frivolous laws that are not necessary. We got so many laws on the books too, nobody even knows what's there. So I think it's time to just get rid of the legislature, get rid of those laws. Let's start over. Let's send the vote to the people, because that's who's running the country. That's who's running the state anyways. We are a country of the people. The Constitution starts off with we the people. It doesn't start off with we the Democrats and Republicans. It doesn't start off with we the West Virginians. It starts with we the people. Can you say that with me? We the people. Good. Okay, so campaign update. town hall, intersex. I talked about it earlier today at the Unitarian Universalist service I did online. The Zurich International, or Zurich UU Zurich Online is what it's called. And I talked a lot about intersex. And, I suppose I could go over it again here, but I don't think I really have to. I recommend you go back and you watch my UU service. It's quite good. It starts off a little strange. I'm not so comfortable talking in my car when there are cars going by and people walking by. I've tried it a couple times and I find it distracting. So I prefer here in like a space where I can talk directly with you. So anyways, but there are, in my opinion, 3 sexes. I know why Donald Trump wanted to mention 2, but the real question about like Olympics and sport competitions anymore is we're not really human against human anymore. We're drug company against drug company, right? Because they're pumping all the athletes with drugs now. And they're going to soon be using bionics inside if they're not already. So, is it really human against human anymore? Or is it, medical advancement against medical advancement? Is that what we're really watching? And then how important is that? Do you really want to watch that? I would much rather watch sports. I would much rather watch athletes. So we need to go for excellence, not gimmickry, not gimmicks. And, men competing and losing and then switching to a woman and winning, that's unacceptable. Absolutely. I don't accept that. That's why I think we really need to move to a more competition based of A class and B class. And so all your really excellent athletes will compete against each other, not with chemicals, but for excellence, for perfection of their art. And B class will compete against each other for excellence and perfection of their art, rather than these other things that are leading to medical competitions. I don't really have to see Novartis and Roche and Pfizer fighting it out at the Olympics. I don't know. What about you? So intersex is a normal, completely normal, natural, nature-made person. And there are lots of varieties in intersex. So intersex is when you have both male and female parts. And it's a good thing to have. And these people are important to the future of humanity because sometimes if there's just one person left on the planet, we want one of them, that person, to be an intersex person so they can reproduce and produce more people, right? And then if we send people to the moon or Mars and we want them to reproduce there, it's best to send intersex people because then everybody can be pregnant, everybody can mix their sperm and their eggs, and then we got lots of varieties, right? So it's actually the best thing to be intersex and to be fully intact intersex, where both sexual genitals are functioning perfectly. That's ideal. And anyone who tells you differently, tell them to hit the road, that they don't know what they're talking about. So I'm very pro intersex, and I'm pro including that on our driver's license if people want. I don't think we have to go into the various other possibilities because you don't want too much details on your driver's license. But I have no problem with having male, intersex, and female, or female, intersex, and male, whichever way you want to do it. And in fact, actually, with the alphabet, it goes perfectly female, intersex, male. So there we go. So, fem. It'll be fem. Yeah, so I think, we need to do some understanding there. I think doctors in the past have taken liberties with our babies and decided the sex before the parents even knew that the child had both body parts, both genitals. And in some cultures, it's seen as a bad thing. And maybe that's why doctors have done it in secret. They've removed penises where there should have been one, or they sewed up a vagina that should have been left alone. And sometimes by doing that, they've made then the child sterile right from birth. And it's just very sad. So doctors should not be allowed to mutilate genitals whatsoever until a child is 18 years old, until they're an adult, until they're no longer a child. That would be the first time I would recommend doing anything with genitals, because you don't want to lose that opportunity to reproduce. And I talk more about this. I'm telling you a lot, but go listen to my UU from today on intersex. It's quite interesting. It's UU, Unitarian Universalists of Zurich, online. It's very good. You'll like it. Okay, so I think that's it for now. Yeah. Be aware of what's going on in your own state and write your legislature and your governor and your Secretary of State and just anybody you can about things you don't agree with, and point out things from the Constitution that they're breaking. They're breaking the law, the supreme law of the land. It's unacceptable. Okay, so that's it for me for right now. I will say Facebook's acting strange suddenly. I don't know. So I may have to switch and start doing this on YouTube, but I can no longer download these videos, so I'll have to be making some bootleg copies and re-releasing them on YouTube. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it's a very sudden thing. And I do like to do these on Facebook because a lot of people are on Facebook. And, it's good for them to have exposure to this stuff. So anyways, let's see what happens in the future. But for right now, I want to say thank you for stopping by. I am Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki, or Susan Buchser for short, a candidate for president, and that's about it. If you want to find out more about my lawsuit with the Supreme Court, you can go visit my website, susan4usa.com. That's Susan, the number 4, usa.com. And I guess that's about it. So I wish you a good day wherever you are. Bye for now.